So what is the actual crack with Anthony Yarde? On one hand, he goes to war with Benavidez.
Get caught in a corner like that. This is when he's got to move out of that corner. Looking to fight fire with fire. Both of them combine. Sim on the left hook. Benavidez responds as well. Wobbling up nicely. Again from Yarde. That's been the punch for him so far. He answers back with a great shot of his own. Both of them unloading powerful, hurtful punches here. Right as well from Anthony Yarde. Right on the button. The crowd rise to that one. He knows, he senses that he's heard the champion here. Yarde goes to the body again. Away with that jab. Anthony Yarde caught. Anthony Yarde caught. Anthony Yarde down.
Well, he lost that fight, of course, but there's no shame in that whatsoever. Benavidez was an undefeated 100% KO ratio beast back then, and probably still is now, to be fair. But Yarde left his heart and soul in that ring and put up a bloody good fight, so full props. But then he's capable of absolute tripe like this.
And gold, Vilkans in the maroon and down. Good combination there from the Latvian. Curls that right hand in round the back of the guard again.
Yarde just walking forward, looking for the big shot. That was better. Point combinations together.
Good combination from Vilkans again. Right uppercut on the inside. And again, he is here. Good combination from Vilkans. He's not got too much left, the Latvian.
Yes, and that is the confusing aspect of Yarde's career. He's been up and down like a fucking yo-yo. He had a slow build towards a world title shot against Kovalev, put up a great fight there, then dropped down to Lyndon Arthur and lost. He did get his revenge though, then he had a couple more easy touches till Benavidez tried his best, then went right back down to the journeyman again where he had that pony performance against Vilkans. Then he's ended up back in the ring for no reason at all in a trilogy against Arthur. Bit scatty, innit? So on paper and on BoxRec there ain't much to shout about really, with all due respect. However, he won't give a monkeys because he's made plenty of readies. He's cashed himself out to the max throughout his wayward career, so in that respect you gotta say fair play. Now don't get me wrong, having said all that about his career, he is still terrific, ain't he? A very good fighter on his day, bundles of heart, bundles of power, and you can never miss an Anthony Yarde fight. It's just that it does make you wonder, as he once again finds himself against the very elite of the sport, can he in fact hack it? And can he hack it against this man?
It's over. That's it. No.
Shaking up Lemieux. Back comes Lemieux. All right. And down goes Lemieux.
Never been past 7 rounds.
Knockdown scored.
And that means right here, moving the feet a little bit, not getting too close if you're Benavidez, and doing that.
That's it.
Now, by the way, I have no doubt that this fight is going to be absolutely fucking filthy, and the card is blinding as well, so if you fancy watching it, get yourself involved through my link below. You got Haney versus Norman, the incredible Bam returns, along with Sam Noakes going for glory against Abdullah Mason for a world title. Bring it on. So link below if you're keen, you certainly won't be disappointed, and by the way, you can get it for free with the Zone's new Ultimate tier, all pay-per-views part of your subscription. Lovely stuff. But yes, David, known as the Mexican Monster for good reason, but I suppose there is a caveat to that. He's the Mexican Monster from his days at super middleweight, but since moving up to light heavy, some may say the jury is still out on if he can make the same impact. I mean, we had the decision win against Vosdik.
Tried to do that.
Nice jab by Vosdik, but now he's getting tagged by the combination of Benavidez. Benavidez going to the body, and again, Benavidez so accurate, so precise, lands a jolting left uppercut on the inside.
Then move to the side. Don't walk straight back because
what a punch combination! A thudding three-piece combo. Pressure on walking down Vosdik. 25 seconds left in the 10th.
he hurt him.
That was a great left hook.
And he
Pulling off the ring, never been his strong suit, and eats a couple of shots there from Vosdik, but he lands a nice short right and a beautiful left to the body by Benavidez. But again, the counter by Vosdik. Now Vosdik doesn't have the pop.
And then we had a barnstormer against David Morrell, who in all fairness is absolutely mustard.
They do well in there as Benavidez corners Morrell.
Benavidez, the light heavyweight division throughout history, has been the scene of some of the most intense rivalries, some of the biggest grudge matches. Benavidez and Morrell. And now Benavidez on the ropes, but again, you don't want to be in
So then, do you take anything from the fact that he couldn't put away Vosdick and Morel at this higher weight, or do you say, yeah, but they're both quality fighters, and anyway, he won pretty comfortably, other than a flashy knockdown against Morel? I mean, you be the judge. But anyway, now he does come up against a fully fledged light heavy in Yarde, a man who's been solid at that weight ever since his debut, and who, as we know, hits very hard. However, once again, there's a question mark there as well, because he does look to be hitting hard against the lower level chaps, and there's plenty of them on his fucking record, let me tell you that. But it ain't quite transferred to the top level, other than the second fight against Lyndon Arthur, and even then you could argue that Lyndon maybe could have carried on.
Lyndon Arthur's down. Anthony Yarde puts him down with a chopping right hand in the 4th round. Finished, it's over!
So yes, there is a debate to be had here. Have we been a bit fooled by the beast from the east devastating power? I mean, I know he nearly got Kovalev out of there, but ultimately he didn't. Then I know he stopped Lyndon, but also he didn't do it the other 2 times. So in the end, all we've really got to go on are all the journeymen. Anyway, ponder on that one, but he's going to have to be hitting seriously hard to get Benavidez out of there, because this man is double tough and generally the bollocks. The issue for old Anthony is the common notion, what have you done for me lately? And lately has been a bit fucking meh, to be honest. The 2 journeymen after Benavidez were always going to be blown away, but this Vilkens fight, he was flat as a pancake. Okay, maybe he was a bit out of sorts because he was out the ring for a while. He had all that aggro with Frank binning off Queensberry to become a self-promoter. That didn't last too fucking long. And amongst all that as well, he was trying to get a fight with Buatsi, which was also a bit of a shit show, so I don't know. You would hope that this was all going on and he just weren't in the right frame of mind for Vilkens, but either way, like it or lump it, it was a very bad look. And then Lyndon Arthur 3 was also quite underwhelming, and some people in fact had Lyndon winning that fight.
By far the elevation to this ring show, the first inaugural one. Arthur looking strong and compact. Body shots as well. Right hand from Yarde back was good. At the end of
Through the right hand, too late there. He rolled under the left hook of Arthur. Oh, good left hook from Arthur.
Oh, and responsive from Yarde. Good shot.
3 or 4 rounds have been really good to watch. You sort of don't want it to finish, but you do, because you've got Eubank Best coming out.
So yeah, something was missing again from Yarde here. He didn't have that pop in his punches and didn't look as sharp as we've seen him previously. Why? Fuck knows. I'm just hoping though that ultimately Yarde was kinda not fussed and like 50% up for the Vilkens fight. I hope he was like 75% up for the Lyndon Arthur fight, because let's be honest, nobody gave a shit about it. And now I hope, just like Kovalev and Beterbiev, he's back to being 100% up for the Benavidez fight, and we'll once again see the very best of him. Because if we don't, by the way, he's getting smashed. Never mind being the naturally bigger man, any shade of his last 2 performances and he probably don't see the final bell. The thing about Benavidez is that he's the opposite really. He ain't done anything like what Anthony Yarde's done, in the sense of putting in really flat performances or looking vulnerable or ever looking like he's anything other than elite world level, which is probably why Canelo wanted no part of him. And there's no questions whatsoever that he'll be 100%, because he sees Yarde as a stepping stone before a monstrous payday against the likes of Bivol, Beterbiev or maybe even Terence Crawford on a big fat Saudi card. Now of course he is human, he does get hit, there's no denying that, but still he rains down on everyone with relentless output. He's got all the tools in the box, good footwork, speed and shot selection, and we've seen what he can do to the people that get caught. Yarde is quite prone to getting caught because he's never been the best defensively, so one wrong move and he's going to need to show what he did against Beterbiev in order to get through it, which I'm sure he will, by the way. So as I say, he is a good fighter, old Yarde, with bundles of will to win, and being the naturally bigger man, you have got to give him a decent chance. It's just that on paper, it is a very big ask, and having not been able to produce the goods before at this level, you wonder if he can all of a sudden change that now. All that aside though, I fucking hope he does it. Yes, big up the British bias and bring it home, Yarde, bruv. I know you're all lumping on Yarde now after this video, but either way, don't forget you can click my link below for the fight and the blinding undercard. Many thanks if you do. Enjoy it, and I'll see you in a bit.